Good morning all, it's Wednesday and this is your news today. Defence Minister Richard Marles is right now in Washington DC holding critical talks with the Vice President over the AUKUS Pact. Plus, incredible video as a towering dust storm sweeps into town. And of course, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's engagement photo shoot.
But we'll start this morning with that manhunt happening now for a gunman accused of ambushing and fatally shooting two Victoria police officers. He's right now on the run. This is the wanted man, 56-year-old conspiracy theorist Desi Freeman, who police believe may also be armed with the weapons of the officers he killed. Our team is following this morning's developments. Let's go first to Today reporter Christina Hearn, who's standing by in Port Punker where this all unfolded. Chris, police have now located the suspect's family.
Sarah, there had been real fears that the gunman had his family with him, his wife and children, possibly as hostages. Police last night revealed they presented at a police station and there is nothing to suggest they were ever with the gunman. The second development overnight is that the search area appears to have moved. Here last night in Port Punker at this main entry in and out of the town, it was teeming with officers. Now there is not one in sight. It was yesterday about 10 o'clock in the morning when 10 police officers executed a search warrant for firearms at a property here in the High Country. They were ambushed. 3 police officers shot, 2 were killed, 1 seriously injured. Sarah.
Chris, thank you. Let's turn now to 9 reporter Penelope Lish, who is in Wangaratta. Penny, we're learning more about these police officers who were gunned down.
Sarah, one of them, a 59-year-old detective, we understand to be very close to retirement. He was stationed here in Wangaratta. The other officer who lost his life, a 35-year-old senior constable from Melbourne. That third officer was flown to the Alfred Hospital to undergo surgery and is now in a stable condition after being shot in the thigh. Now, 10 police officers went into this building to this property to execute this warrant. We understand there was a risk assessment. That's what we've been told by Victoria Police. But it has now sparked this huge police operation right across the area. Hundreds of police resources being used to try and find this alleged gunman.
Penny, thank you.
Terrible for the police community. Well, new video today of protesters in Israel taking over major roads in what's been dubbed a day of disruption, calling for the government to secure a release of the hostages and an end to the war in Gaza. This as the Israeli government and its defence force face condemnation over the double strike on a hospital yesterday, which killed 20 people, including 5 journalists. And overnight, Israel is hailing Australia's move to expel the Iranian ambassador after ASIO determined Iran had directed 2 anti-Semitic firebombings in Sydney and Melbourne.
Australia taking the threats against Israel and the Jewish people, Jewish Australians living in Australia, for the Australian government to take those threats seriously is a positive outcome.
Let's go live to Today Federal Politics reporter Liz Daniels. Liz, Iran, however, denying any involvement this morning.
Yes, Carl, Tehran this morning denying having orchestrated attacks on Australian soil, responding with fury after ASIO determined Iran's Revolutionary Guard had directed at least 2 firebombings here. The first was on a Sydney kosher cafe last October and then on the Adass Israel Synagogue in Melbourne 2 months later. The Prime Minister, in response to ASIO's intelligence, has expelled the Iranian ambassador, a move not seen in 80 years. Iran's foreign ministry spokesman Esmail Baghaei has called that an assault on democracy.
This is a new development. My colleagues are investigating the issue and our response, but the accusation made is completely rejected.
Liz, the Director General says that these attacks are a turning point for the Jewish community.
Yeah, Mike Burgess said that up until October last year, when this first firebombing occurred, there had been protests and rhetoric that had been rising, but that these fires were a turning point and that Iran lit the match and fanned the flames of anti-Semitism in Australia. It triggered a wave of attacks in Sydney and Melbourne, and ASIO and the Federal Police say some of those others may have also been directed by Iran. Now, Iran Iran also said this morning that these revelations and that Australia declaring its ambassador persona non grata is to offset Australia's recent, what it calls modest criticism of Israel. Carl, we'll hear from our Foreign Minister on Today.
There's a bit on. Liz, thank you.
Making news overseas, Grammy award-winning musician Lil Nas X has pleaded not guilty to 4 felony charges in Los Angeles. Police claim he assaulted officers when they approached him wandering the streets in his underwear. Incredible video this morning of a massive dust storm sweeping through the US state of Arizona. The phenomenon, technically termed a haboob, swallowed neighbourhoods, frightened officers, blocked the sun and also caused quite the spectacle at the Burning Man festival. Deputy Prime Minister Richard Marles has made a dash to Washington DC this morning, meeting with the US Vice President and the Secretary of Defence. Washington correspondent Lauren Tomasi is in the US Capitol. Lauren, a lot at stake in these high-level talks.
Jane, really high stakes, but as Deputy Prime Minister Richard Marles made his way here to Washington DC, securing a meeting with Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defence, had still been up in the air. That came through just a matter of hours ago, and the Deputy Prime Minister there meeting with the Vice President, JD Vance, along with the Pentagon Chief. This is a really critical time for Australia to be holding these talks because the Trump administration is right now reviewing the AUKUS submarine pact, making sure it aligns with what it says is it's an American first agenda. The other thing at stake here is, has the Deputy Prime Minister been able to make any headway on that elusive meeting between Anthony Albanese and Donald Trump? Jane, it has now been 7 months of this administration and still the two leaders have not met face to face this term.
Lauren, thank you.
We have some breaking news now of the nicer kind, and it's even interrupting the US president's high-level meetings. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have announced their engagement. Applause. This was Donald Trump's response to the news.
Well, I wish him a lot of luck. I think he's a great player. I think he's a great guy, and I think that she's a terrific person. So I wish them a lot of luck.
It's a beautiful thing. Let's try that round of applause again. US correspondent Reid Butler is in Hollywood. Reid, good morning to you. Even those who aren't Swifties have been clapping big guy. You're into it. I love it.
Carl, I'm sure the NFL world is celebrating. Us Swifties have certainly jumped on board the NFL. We love sports because our girl, Tay-Tay, she is now engaged. She announced the news this morning, and have a look at the ring. The speculation is it's 13 carats and worth around $1 million Australian dollars. We know it is an old mine, brilliant cut, meaning it's a hand-cut ring, and Trav helped the designer create that beautiful piece. I'm sure Taylor loves it. We have so many questions, namely, when will this wedding be? Where will it be? But it doesn't matter, Carl, because Tay-Tay, she has found her happily ever after, and we love that.
Season's about to start over there, so it can't be now. I mean, speculation. Oh, even the truckies are happy, big guy.
Okay. I'm nominating Reid for Best Man, OK?
Oh, yeah, I like it too.
We'll be there. Well, the Reserve Bank has indicated it will lower interest rates again when it meets at the end of September, despite being unsure how far to go. Minutes from the board's August meeting reveal members agreed that further reduction would be needed again sometime this year. A new investigation has uncovered Victorian gangs are stealing meat from Coles to then sell to restaurants. Police say the stolen meat and other foods are hitting kitchens across the state, feeding the hospitality industry's appetite for cheap products. Well, people who use Queensland's public sex offender register to harass pedophiles could face up to 10 years behind bars. According to the Courier Mail, the state government will introduce 3 new laws to stop vigilante behaviour.
Meghan Markle has shared details of the early days of her relationship with Prince Harry in the new season of her Netflix series With Love, Meghan. From their first date to who said I love you first, nothing was off the table. Watch this.
Was there a moment that you were like, oh no, I know that I love this guy?
Yes, that was our 3rd date.
You fell in love on your 3rd date?
We met in Botswana and we camped for 5 days together.
Oh, so you really had time to fall in love in those few days. That's nice.
But you really get to know somebody when you're in a little tent together and there's like, what is that outside the, what is that outside the tent? That's an elephant. Are we going to be safe? Yeah, you're safe.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you tell him first or did he tell you?
He told me.
Oh, that's nice. That's really... You started to blush.
Carlos, your favourite topic of the day.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's pure lover's love.
When did you say I love you?
A critical showdown tonight that will lock in AFL finals with Gold Coast facing Essendon tonight in what is widely considered the biggest game in the Suns' short history. If Gold Coast wins, they make the 8, marking their first finals berth in 15 seasons.
But if Essendon wins, the Suns are out and the Western Bulldogs are in. Mathematically, the Suns would also make the finals if it's a draw. We have to get the whiteboard out for that one, Carlos, just to work it all out. It's simple.
There's a lot of teams anxious about it, though, so the Bulldogs will be hoping.
They will be hoping. They were
Praying.
training yesterday just in case.
I don't know. I think Essendon might, you know...
Pull off a miracle?
Some sort of miracle.
They might.
Miracle on the Gold Coast.
It could.
They do happen. Let's check out the weather now across the country. It'll be wet again around Australia's south. Melbourne showers and 15 degrees, a shower or 2 and 15 for Hobart.
Adelaide showers for you as well with a chilly 14 degrees your top, and Perth showers will be increasing in a top of 17 degrees.